Hello, it's Dr. Cortex here, and you're listening to Raw Dogs, one of my favorite podcasts. And yes, it's part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. So keep listening. Who knows what you'll find out?
Watching Godzilla now, there's the 1995 one. There hasn't been a movie that aged more poorly. Than the mid 90s Godzilla. Nothing has aged more poorly than that.
Except the soundtrack.
Except the soundtrack. Yeah.
It was a dope soundtrack.
Is that the Puff Daddy? P. Diddy? Come on, me.
Okay, so that's
Puff Diddly.
Yeah.
Wait, so what you're saying is actually a good soundtrack?
It's a very good soundtrack. Other than that song.
And welcome to Raw Dogs. And welcome to the Godzilla cast starring the Raw Dogs. Here we are at episode number 42. We're your favorite deep dive podcast that does lore, explorations, video game retrospectives, and honestly, we just drink and talk about video games a little bit.
That's what this one's going to be.
Is that what it is?
And this one requires extra drinking.
For some of us.
It will.
For most of us. My name is Brad. You know me as Brad. I play video games sometimes. I'm more of a shill. Dylan is more of the indie guy and knows more than me.
It's fine.
Not. You're wrong, but it's fine.
it's whatever. Yeah, I'm Dylan. I tend to know the weird esoteric stuff. Brad is the one who comes with most of the information. I show up and have a good time.
I have fun too, though.
I know you do.
Mostly.
But you also enjoy the research too. So.
Yeah.
And I just show up and I know things. That's what I do.
You guys just got boned.
Hey, Bone Zone.
You just got boned.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize.
Have you ever said that to someone after coitus?
I will choose not to say.
Do you play a little sound effects stinger after you say the...
Do you have a sound effects board under your pillow to use when you're having sex?
Yeah. You just got Bone Zone. It's a Law and Order. Dun, dun.
Do.
You're just doing them all at the same time.
I think
Like, that's how good I did this time.
I think you just got boned.
So, Jamie, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Brad. How you doing?
Very well, thank you. And our other wonderful friend we have here today. What's your name?
Hi, they call me Tom Raw Dog Wagner, here to talk about the best game in the world.
Here to dog it raw.
Ooh.
We're part of the Greenlit Podcast Network. This is brought to you by our Patreon executive producers, Ants in the Pants, Rai the Donkey Kong guy, Tikachu, and King K Kippo. And yes, we are going to be... and welcome to new Patreon supporter, Dr. Katie Bone.
A real doctor.
No relation to the Bone Zone or the most intimate relation to the Bone Zone.
Just a happy coincidence.
Happy coincidence.
How about Dr. Mario? Any relation?
It's Mario where they're from.
Disgusting.
Is it really? Is it Mario?
Yeah, where I grew
it's a
up,
Jersey
everyone
thing.
called it Mario.
I watched the Canadian audio for the Mario Brothers movie, and they say Mario the whole time. It's very odd.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
Not.
If there were
Tommy
any
don't like
excuse
that.
for genocide.
Sorry. That got dark real fast.
This is not Doggies After Dark.
Oh, it's not yet. Okay. All right, I'm back.
I'm
Tom's
pretty,
checking the time.
We're back.
I'm pretty much American now.
But you still say Mario.
No, I say Mario.
Today we are discussing a video game that is a titan on the Super Nintendo. It is well known by everybody, beloved by many, hated by some, and regardless, and a very
big med, but others.
Big man.
Regardless, a very important part of video game history and has a spot as being an important video game. We're talking about Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo, specifically the first one. And let's just start with general thoughts. Tom, you're last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, I think Donkey Kong Country is a game that I imagine we all have played. We all have our own memories of it. But in my opinion, from a look perspective, yeah, it brought something kind of cool to the table, but it played like shit. It really played like shit.
You didn't think that back in the day, though.
I didn't think it back in the day, but I think it now hard. Yeah. But I was a Genesis kid growing up, and Donkey Kong Country was that, oh shit, I can't play that game. And it was that, like that,
so you were just mad
grass
jelly?
Is greener, mad jelly all over the place with peanut butter.
The palm trees are greener over there, man.
Yeah.
Dylan, what were your thoughts back in the day?
Okay, back in the day, I played this at like friend's house. I didn't really have like Super Nintendo, so it's like neighborhood kids, and I always had a decent time with it. I think even back then I was kind of frustrated because I would play things like Mario World, and that felt like second nature to me. And then I would play something like Donkey Kong Country, and even at that time, little critic head Dylan got it weaseled its way in, and
I could see Dylan, just 8 years old, like, actually, this game isn't good.
I didn't even say it like that. I was just like,
let me just say this.
I was just like, okay, well, I was like, why did I jumped, and it felt like I should have landed on the other side of this horse shit. I didn't say that at that age, but you can picture
back
it.
then. You said God is dead, eat butt. You couldn't swear yet.
Eat duty hole. No, but like I would be constantly like, okay, this felt cheap. I remember the minecart section specifically, and I remember being just like, I don't know how you're supposed to tell when the shit's about to pop up. It's not fair. Like, I just didn't feel like this game was
the
fair.
minecart specifically has that issue, yeah.
And now, as an adult, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game isn't like the worst thing on the face of the planet. I also think that its sequels did so much better for it.
Specifically the Wii U sequels and the Wii,
no.
the Donkey Kong Country Returns. Are you talking about 2 and 3?
2 is good. I don't like 3. I will take Returns and Tropical Freeze any day, though.
Tropical Freeze is top for me, but Donkey Kong Country for me back in the day, loved this game. Me and my friends played it, and when I look back, it's more of 2 and 3 were ones that I remember the day that I was able to buy Donkey Kong Country 3, which was released very late in the Super Nintendo cycle, but I loved the music, I loved the style, and I think I might have been too young to realize that the gameplay did feel pretty loose. But even though the gameplay's loose, there is a fun rhythm to it, and it's consistently loose in a weird way. Like, it controls shitty in a way you can understand, which, like, I don't want to say that's a plus, but that is a thing.
Once you get used to it,
it never gets better.
Then you get that, like, to your point, Brian, you get used to it, then you have fun with it. I picked it up again today, and it was fun.
The frog, though, will never control right.
No.
A frog on a tire is the worst thing that's ever happened in gaming.
Yeah, that was a big issue.
What do you think the frog was thinking?
Stop riding.
But going into this replay, my thoughts were, I really like this game, and I don't understand why people hate it. That's my thoughts before I did a replay, and then a replay, and then a replay. Tom, you've been vocal in the past that you don't like this game.
I don't, and I never did. I stole this game from Walmart. And
it was the worst money.
Hated it.
It was the worst money you never spent.
I wanted a refund. Yeah, my thoughts from day one are like, this controls like shit. It's not a great platforming experience. However, when this game came out, I was what year did it come out? 94?
November 21st, 1994.
So you were like 35.
35. I could run for president, and I did that year. Lost. Spoilers.
Thanks a lot, Clinton.
No, yeah.
We could have had Wegner.
No, I was an angsty teen, but I'd already graduated to way better systems like the Panasonic 3DO.
Oh, shit.
And I had a TurboGrafx with a Turbo CD
on a
for
secluded
like
mountain
2
in the
years.
middle of nowhere.
Tom was almost president, but then he bought Donkey Kong Country and ruined the time continuum of the planet.
And I knew what this game was trying to do for Nintendo, like right off the bat. So I kind of saw through the guys.
So you had Shigeru Miyamoto's point of view.
Well, what were your thoughts on Rare? Did you have strong feelings about Rare back in the day? Because you probably had played some of their earlier games.
Yeah, Rare was a badge of honor. I was a big Battletoads.
Because a lot of
fantastic game.
I've heard a lot of people
Donkey
have theorized Donkey Kong Country is when Rare started to suck and like started to lose their way a little bit.
Okay, I mean, they did have GoldenEye later. But this is the first chink in their armor, are you saying?
Well, yeah, like just when they started to veer away from what was good about them.
Sure.
Donkey Kong Country released in the U.S. November 21st, 1994. There are ports in the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Advance, and eventually the Wii Virtual Console. Developed by Rare, published by Nintendo. So back in the day, Rare had taken some significant financial risks to buy Silicon graphics computers for 3D rendering. They wanted to be state-of-the-art, cutting edge. It made them the most technologically advanced developer in UK at the time. Nintendo was seeking a game to compete. I was surprised when I read this, to compete with Sega's Aladdin, which was a very big deal for the Sega Genesis. I didn't realize like everyone was like, this is the best looking game back in the day.
It was massive.
When I read that, I didn't know that was the competition. And immediately I went back to when I rented from Blockbuster, I think, Aladdin on Genesis.
Yep.
It blew me away. And I couldn't believe how good it looked.
Yeah.
So original animators.
Original animators.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a game, we'll give the Capcom one.
The level, the level design in the Genesis Aladdin is dog shit, and it doesn't always work. I will say the Super Nintendo one is a better game, even though all you're doing is throwing apples and you don't get a bitchin' scimitar. Yeah, I'm definitely full blown Super Nintendo all the way.
Right.
But that animation is just
You actually had the Disney animators contributing to the game animation.
I've never heard anyone say the SNES is better than the.
Oh, it's way better. The level design.
I dated a girl.
It's incomprehensible.
I dated a girl once who just once that said that the SNES Aladdin was her favorite game.
It was an awkward remainder of the date, to be clear.
Yeah.
I'm on Team Genesis with this one.
I only like the Game Boy Color port. It's really the way to go.
The graphics are killer.
Nintendo, though, they were looking like, what's the new thing? We need something to make the Super Nintendo look great. And Rare was doing some weird things back in the day, like because they were taking these super advanced computers and finding a way to dumb it down to a Super Nintendo.
Yeah. Well, they were looking for something to look great because they were waffling on the whole CD-ROM thing and didn't really know what they were going to do.
Yeah.
So they're like, shit. You know,
Rare was working on a fighting game at the time that they saw, right? What fighting game did Rare make? Because they came and saw a fighting game that they were working on.
Did they do Clay Fighter?
No, they did the what is it? Primal Rage?
Primal Rage?
Shit,
yeah.
Oh, that was a great game.
They saw like a prototype for
game,
that.
But
they saw a prototype for it, and they're like, "We're buying a minority stake in your company. Just make it. Make something for us."
Yeah.
And they tasked them with Donkey Kong. Like they gave them, hey, this franchise. Mm-hmm. Kind of. I mean, they had Donkey Kong 1 through 3. 1 was great. Junior was great. 3 was fine.
I find 3 to be playable.
And then Donkey Kong 94 came out for the Super Game Boy.
Yes, people.
That was kind of a little bit of a Donkey Sans.
Yeah, and that's a great game.
Kong-a-sans.
There's a lot more to that game than people realize.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong 64?
Donkey Kong 94.
Oh yeah, well, no, that game rules. The Game Boy Donkey Kong is one of the best Donkey Kong games ever made. Period.
That's what I've heard. I've never played it.
Well,
It's wonderful. I wish I still owned it.
This became like a very odd
sold it.
point in Nintendo's history where a whole bunch of Europeans were handling the Donkey Kong franchise, largely not being looked at too much. Like, do what you want, and we'll kind of give you guidance when you come back with a prototype. It's pretty exciting because a lot of them were very young. Rare was not they had made some good games before, but
it was very rare for a company called Rare to be in a situation of making a big budget
You're out
game.
of here.
Get the
You are
fuck out of
fucking
here.
out.
medium rare.
Fuck out of here.
Jesus. Go listen to your Gordon Lightfoot.
Sundown.
That's a great song, by the way.
It's a great song.
Okay. Whew.
Sorry. Jamie's
Getting the
Canadian.
vapors.
I am Canadian. That's our
Hashtag
national
he's
anthem.
Canadian.
Sundown, oh Canada.
this was one of the first home console games to feature pre-rendered graphics achieved through a compression technique that allowed Rare to convert 3D models into Super Nintendo sprites. Yeah. I watched a few documentaries, and there was like, imagine something that's like 1,000 pixels, and we had to like make it down to 3 and take all the colors away.
Yeah, you like digitize it into like a still frame.
And they said they'd just like leave the computers running overnight and come back, and like there'd be an image done waiting for them when they came back, because it looked very impressive at the time, because when they showed the initial trailer at CES 94, guests mistook the footage as being a reveal of a new Nintendo system.
God, we are so stupid. Human beings are so dumb.
Well, no, I mean,
I hate all human beings.
No, nothing looked like that in the Super Nintendo at the time. There's no reason that they shouldn't.
I'm sorry, but the fact that it's like when people get fooled by magic tricks and they're just like, wow.
Harrison Ford does.
Whoa, wait a minute. Magic isn't real? Shut the fuck up.
Well,
any advanced piece of technology is indistinguishable from magic. Yeah. Arthur C. Clarke.
Well, there were Nintendo brass executives who saw Donkey Kong Country playing, and they thought it was a prototype for the Nintendo 64.
I love that. So these guys like, I can't do a British accent. I can't like do a proper accent.
Mate.
My
fucking game.
Gov, you want to fuck with me, Gov?
And Gunpei Yokoi's like,
Mary Poppins.
Gunpei Yokoi's like, no way, dude. Nope. It's 2 3D. How can they play it? It's not like a prototype for the game. Like, it's 2 3D. Like, all of Nintendo. So they go to Japan with their prototype of the game. First time they're showing, this is what a level of Donkey Kong Country will look like. And they were expecting the Nintendo company to be like this fun, big, like colorful place. No, it's like, it's a business. It's white walls. There's a Nintendo logo.
Yeah.
And they go in a room, and it's like Shigeru Miyamoto and Gunpei Yokoi. I forget who else was there. Some other like bigger names at the time.
Frank.
Mario the plumber was there.
Tommy Tallarico. Nolan
Cliffy
North.
B showed up.
Jean-Claude Van Damme for some reason. No one knows why.
Harrison Ford was there.
Terry the Toilet Dweller.
I don't get it. It's 2 3D.
Get off my plane.
This feels like
off my barrel.
This feels like a movie I would star in, said Harrison Ford.
How about Indiana Jones in the Donkey Kong Country?
And the Donkey Kong Country. Yes.
I would like that.
And so they showed the thing. And just imagine like a whole bunch of like the Japanese people just like, Just like a lot of quiet in the room. And Gunpei Yokoi's like, no one will understand it. It's 2 3D. I'm like, it's a 2D game. Like, there is no doubt in anyone's mind.
You don't even go through planes.
Me as a 7-year-old, I'm like, yep.
Right.
And he's meanwhile making the Virtual Boy like, they'll get it. They'll understand.
It's so 3D, man.
Yeah.
Royal Land 4 will be the best game.
The best game. Can we put this on Virtual Boy? Boyo.
I wasn't going to go that far. An SNL bit.
You took it that far, man.
I didn't know.
I like that one of the things though, Nintendo advised them a couple things. Originally that they were having Diddy Kong be Donkey Kong Jr. and they're like, Nintendo's like, no, that's way too far. Okay, we gave you Donkey Kong, but you can't make Donkey Kong Jr. Diddy Kong.
There's
so that's
also
why the whole lineage of the family was a little wonky for a while.
There's a bigger problem there, is that one is an ape and one is a monkey.
Well, they're technically maybe cousins in the game, if you want to talk lineage.
And then there was Puff Diddy Kong. That just made no sense.
P. Diddy Kong. Yeah.
Where's my gavel?
He's a bad boy for life.
Where's my gavel?
So they took.
Can we get this episode over with?
Well, Donkey Kong is Donkey Kong Jr.'s son, and Cranky Kong is the original one. To clarify,
right?
That's a good nickname for Tom. Cranky
Kong?
No, I'd go with Funky Kong.
Funky Kong, okay.
Yeah,
depending on the day. I have been called Cranky Kong before.
After seeing Dylan's ball sack, he's Wrinkly Kong.
I had a dream where I was imagining all the dog casters as like animals. Yours, I actually woke up laughing a couple days ago. It was, I said, oh man, what would Tom be? And what I said to myself was I'm like, oh my God, he's like an 8-year-old Labrador Retriever.
Oh, this is getting weird, man. This is getting very weird.
That's it. Like, and I woke up laughing, and I'm like, he kind of looks like.
Got him.
He's the giraffe that was the Toys R Us mascot. Jeffrey.
Oh, you're Jeffrey?
Jeffrey the Giraffe.
I don't know.
I don't want to grow up.
Check us out. Yeah, write in hairthedogcast@gmail.com.
What animal
What
is
animals
Tom?
are we?
Yes.
I've been told I'm a panda bear, which is a little insulting, but it seems
I can't wait till we talk about Sainmora.
But that'll be
what
fun when
animals
we
we
get
love.
Indie Games Month is coming soon.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that.
Nintendo did have a few directions for them, though, outside of the Donkey Kong Jr. They said significantly reduce the difficulty. Like, you guys are making this game too difficult. This isn't Battletoads. Make it a little easier. Miyamoto made the suggestion that DK should have a hand slap move to, like, slap the ground and hit enemies. And DK's design originally featured 3 fingers, but that is associated with the Yakuza. So they added a 4th finger to the character so they don't think that Donkey Kong got a finger removed.
That's hilarious.
Yep. That was like one thing, like, also add a finger because the Yakuza.
We don't like gang signs around here at Nintendo.
But we do have love hotels. And that's part of our past we're not going to talk about unless we make Love Hotel for the 64, which we're thinking about.
Love Hotel 64, great game.
I would have played it.
64 of them exist.
Rare also considered to have Wario as the main villain and possibly
Hell
having
yeah,
him
dude.
steal a time machine from Mario.
Yes.
But Nintendo's like, nah.
Fuck off.
That would have been a continuation of like the Wario Land. Like, yeah, we want Wario, dude. That would have been cool.
Well, I mean, the best Wario Land games at this time, only the first Wario Land, which is Super Mario Land 3, was out. And the Game Boy Color one came out in 97 or 98. I'm getting a little autistic here. I'm sorry. Keep going.
The soundtrack,
Yeah.
I think that everyone in the world can agree that there is some fucking bangers on this soundtrack.
It's a bop. Yeah.
David Wise, I just put in the notes, David Wise is God. He started composing as a freelance musician. He made 3 demo tunes and then was offered a full-time position at Rare based on that.
Nice. Good job, Dave.
He
I love
composed
Dave.
this soundtrack in a former cattle shed. He was just working out in a cattle shed next to where everyone else was working.
A cattle shed?
Yep, that's what they said in the documentaries I was watching.
I mean, Rare works in a barn.
Yeah.
So
You're working a cattle shed until you've done your job, mate.
If you don't do good, you're going to the chicken coop.
It's rare to see a game developer, start and
I know you started the joke.
Yeah,
Do you know where you're
he's like-
going, though? I know you started the joke.
shit, you're supposed to laugh there, dudes.
Oh, rare.
Just kidding.
I'm waiting to see if it's successful to laugh.
David Wise said he wanted to create atmospheric music that mixes natural environmental sounds with prominent melodic and percussive accompaniments. And that's like one of those times where just saying what the music represents is taking it out of its natural form.
It's cow
'Cause all you
farts.
all you have to do is listen to it, and it's like, okay, I get it. It's aquatic ambience. You know, it's evocative. He uses sounds you'd hear like in like the minecart levels. Like you hear like what sounds like something dripping off a stalactite. Aquatic, yeah, like the underwater levels are such a complete change of pace from everything.
That song can put me to sleep any day.
The water levels are really cool, though. Like, even graphically wise, it's been so, that's not even English, but graphical wise, it's been
Canadian.
so long since I played it. Those water levels are impressive. Better than some of the other parts of the games. Other than the fact that apparently donkeys who are monkeys don't
breathe
have
underwater.
to breathe.
Apes.
Well, apes obviously can breathe underwater.
Obviously,
Definitely.
they have gills.
Like me.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Aquatic
I'm making my
ambience
blood
took 5 weeks to create. King K. Rules.
He was
theme.
just really stoned during that time. Not because it was difficult.
I got nothing, dude. He did like just one guitar, like really long, like guitar sound, and is like, "That's it. Just put some water sounds behind
Yep.
it." And that's
I'm going to the
mostly what
beach.
it is. King K. Rules theme allegedly was was influenced by Iron Maiden.
Okay. Can we play that?
Yeah. Do you want to hear it right now?
Yes, right now.
Okay. It's like, is it Iron Maiden?
I just need to hear it again just so I can.
I wonder if Iron Maiden ever did a cover of Donkey Kong music because it was inspired by
This is kind of.
Oh, this is totally Maiden.
I hear it. Yeah.
It just sounds like a sea shanty.
Minutes to midnight to kill the unborn in the womb.
Oh shit, dog. It's my jam right there. That's heavy. That's like death metal.
Yeah. It's orgy. I see a ship in the harbor.
This is Iron Maiden, yeah.
Smoke if you got him, boys. Yeah, that's right. Like,
Those fucking SNES samples. Just can't beat them.
the rest of the episode is just Donkey Kong music.
Just a double pedal.
That was
Wait,
amazing.
so Dylan, you said you're Dilly Kong, and Jamie, what's your name?
Boner Kong?
Okay.
And
You guys just got boned.
The promotional soundtrack, DK Jams, was released and is one of the earliest video game soundtrack albums released in the U.S. This video game was backed by a $16 million ad campaign in North America alone.
Christ.
So even though, I mean, we've all heard that Shigeru didn't love the game. You mentioned that, Dylan.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
What do you know about that?
I think first of all, he didn't like the way they looked.
It was too 3D.
No,
that's Gunpei.
it wasn't that. It's just that he didn't like, and I agree with him, actually. He said, like, I can't tell I can't tell the precise movement of this character as it moves along the screen.
Mario is so precise.
Yes. It's pixel to pixel. And with this, it gets a little muddier when you have something that's transferred from a picture onto the screen. And my biggest problem with this game has always been hitboxes. Sometimes you feel like you can roll into an enemy and it seems like you've done it correctly, and then it immediately tells you, like, oh, you're fucking done. You're dead. Or you lose one of your lives, and then now suddenly you're Donkey Kong again, because Diddy Kong's the best character, let's be clear. And
For this game.
Controversial.
for this game, yes. It's not that controversial. He's the speedier one.
Jumps
he plays
higher.
better. Yeah.
Cartwheels are cool.
It's not like there's any, like, strength stat.
But what if me and Donkey Kong go way back? You know?
Donkey
Not
Kong can
boring.
fight the big guys.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Diddy
The
can
Crushes.
too.
And
I know
like
what you mean, though. It's like
monkeys
you
that wear
don't really
hats.
have any awareness of what you're doing in the game. And realistically, for this being like the first pre-rendered game for SNES, especially looking at it now, it's like, yeah, that's just like a fucking picture on top of a map. You know,
It's hitboxes.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know where the model ends
That's
and
right.
what to expect.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time I can feel pretty confident about what I'm doing, but there's so much wiggle room. And Rare made an interesting decision. Like, they realized it was fun that you could be able to, like, roll or cartwheel off of the edge of the thing and jump, like a roll jump off of the edge of a cliff or like the level. And granted, it's fun and I get it, but I could just see Shigeru like, what? Like, why?
Is there a button I can hold for the run that isn't automatically an attack? That's my biggest problem. I don't think that works very well. The idea should be is that at any time you can press a button that will do the attack, but that roll attack, the start sequence of it, if you don't get enough into it as it's moving, then you actually can get detected as a hit.
well, it's rare that happens, though.
I fucking hate
And
it.
it's I mean, and
God darn it.
they built a rhythm into this game too, where it's. I mean, some games like have speed built into it, and they'll have it linked up where there'll be like 3 or 5 enemies spaced out, and once you start a roll, they'll make sure that your roll continues through all of the enemies, just regardless of where you started. And you watch people play this game. Like today, I was just like, I'm gonna play as fast as I can, and if you know where to expect things, you can roll through a lot and you can just run under a lot of enemies. There is a rhythm that they built into the game, which is really good. And
when it works.
When it works.
when it works.
And it's one of those things where the more you play it, I think you kind of know what to expect. And like with some of the barrel stuff too, like it's all timing and knowing when to hit stuff. There's a rhythm to the game, which is really pleasing when it works.
Would you almost say that this is a role-playing game?
I mean, it's a rare game. It is a rare game. No one will not say it's not rare.
It's definitely like the first RPG.
And I want to say, like, one of my biggest issues was the fact that this was Nintendo getting behind a game and spending so much money in marketing. Like, this was a Nintendo game. And then after having spent many, many years already with the Mario games and how tight that they felt, right?
So
Very
tight.
Tight,
I mean,
dog.
you were
Tight.
expecting for this game to be like that, like Mario 3 or Mario World, to have that kind of precision. And then when
There was no...
you play it, you're like,
Oh, wait. So, Tom, the first time you get Donkey Kong Country when you were 17, whatever,
the edge of 17.
you put the cartridge in, ooh, new Nintendo game, excited to play it. Like, describe what happened to you. Like, was it the first level, like, it was immediate drop, or you played through a little bit, you're like, I'm not sure?
All right, so I had already kind of relegated my SNES to my younger siblings. I had moved on a little bit.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I was
Playing the 3DO.
You know, we're on the dawn of PlayStation, and in a couple months I'd be playing the Saturn when that just fucking got stealth dropped. So I put it in, and I mean, honestly, I don't remember. I can't really recall the events of, you know, my first couple playthroughs, but I know I played the first level. I'm like,
Too busy kissing chicks.
Kissing the ladies.
No.
Drawing fan art of himself kissing chicks.
That's rare.
Yeah.
He drew himself as Donkey Kong.
Kissing chicks.
What's the name of the girl Donkey Kong? Is it Sexy Kong?
Sure.
Titty Kong?
No, her name is, of course,
Dixie.
Candy Kong.
Okay.
And, yeah, she
Might
is the
as well.
only Kong that is bipedal.
Yeah. So I had already been subscribing to many video game magazines.
You look at Diddy Kong in this picture on my shirt.
Yeah, he looks like a monkey.
He's pretty
He doesn't look
bipedal.
like a human with fur.
But he's bipedal.
Tom, you were saying?
I can't stop staring at Dylan's shirt. I'm sorry. You flex it. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So I had already been subscribing to, video game magazines. I was a video game nerd at that point.
What?
Yes. Yeah. And
He stole this from Walmart, dude.
yeah. So I already had like kind of preconceived notions. I'm like, I wanted the game to control well, but I knew at the time, I'm like, this is Nintendo trying to stave off all the CD-ROM systems and the newer systems that are entering the market. Because back in the early 90s, it was a bit of a free-for-all. It wasn't consolidated to just 3 companies. Yeah. There were companies that's fucking releasing game systems, or at least the promise of game systems, like 32-bit. And yeah, I played it, and I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I thought it was, or unfortunately, this is what I kind of figured it was going to be. But almost even worse, because just the floatiness of it, I just couldn't get past the controls. That is my main issue with the game. I mean, if it would have controlled better for my taste, I still wouldn't have put it on a fucking pedestal probably, but I'd be like, yeah, that was a good Nintendo game.
To throw it a bone.
That should be your segment.
Oh God,
I agree. But to throw it a bone, I had a comparison, like more modern day comparison to Assassin's Creed series. First game, it's
a good prototype.
It was okay.
Good proof of concept.
Yeah.
Number 2 came out. It's like, oh shit, this is what I wanted.
Well, Assassin's Creed 2 introduced Dixie Kong.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and that's why.
So you play DK Country, and then you switch over to 2. It's night and day difference of
It is.
control,
Yeah.
graphics, even like they
Tightness.
shored it up,
Yep.
right?
Well, even the sprites themselves were less muddy, and that's part of it. Like, you have to feel like you're a physical thing within the world itself, and maybe that's why Shigeru Miyamoto didn't like that first one all that much. It's like
he knew it played like shit.
There's
He knows games.
yeah,
He needed more 7-Up in it.
Donkey Kong Country
you need
1.
a cool spot the game.
It's incredibly inconsistent in its level design. Some levels play extremely fast and zero gimmicks, and then some like try and just heavily introduce a few things. But I mean, most of the time you're playing through like 5 level backdrops. They don't mix it up that much. And the levels are incredibly short. And I was surprised to find that out.
I could beat this game within like an hour.
Yeah. Like first time playing it again in probably 3 or 4 years, it was like an hour and a half to get what I would comfortably say, like I went for every bonus level and everything, and it took about that long. But if you don't care, you can beat it in like 45, 50 minutes because it is, I have the numbers, we'll talk about those later, for like how many levels, but it's a short game. And it has moments where they're introducing like gameplay mechanics and elements that are fun, but it feels very loosey-goosey and inconsistent and not focused. Where Donkey Kong Country 2, they took everything that kind of worked and they like fucking...
Oh, they nailed it.
They tuned it in, but it's also like Rare, like kind of... Let's make more collectibles. We need more bonus levels. We need to make Creme coins. We need Donkey Kong coins.
But that's okay. Like that actually worked for 2.
It worked for 2, and to me, it still works for 3. It's getting to the point where I don't know if I want to collect all the banana birds, but it's still fun enough. And I never played Donkey Kong 64 because I had a friend describe what he was doing.
I've played it.
And I said, you have to change Kongs? I remember being a kid saying, no, what?
That seems wrong.
That's very dumb.
It's very dumb.
And that was when Rare went off the deep end. I don't know as far as the internal who was there, but
well, sure.
It's a rare point in their history.
It's medium rare. Like it's early. It's like halfway through their history, so it's like medium rare.
It's not punny anymore.
That joke is well done, dude.
I'm gonna pun myself to death.
I was more looking for an ice pick to stab in my eye right now.
That's cool.
It's
It's aggressive.
Okay,
it is. Yeah.
So I remember
Monday.
one of my friends did receive the promotional VHS tape that was sent out to every subscriber of Nintendo Power. They sent out physical VHS tapes titled Donkey Kong Country Exposed. And it was like a 10, 15-minute long thing on every VHS tape.
Yep.
And it said, wow, this is Wild Woody, and this is Donkey Kong Country Exposed.
And then it just turned into apes flashing the camera.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I wish it was just Diddy Kong pulling up his shirt because he's all Winnie the Pooh anyways. Like, why are you not wearing pants?
Right.
But no, it was they sent out a VHS promo video to literally every Nintendo Power subscriber, and it's fun. Like, I don't know, I watch it, it's fine, but like that's a thing. Did you receive one, Tom?
I didn't, but I know when I was working at a certain retailer, which I may or may not have stole the game from, we did have the tape playing.
This is real cool.
No, but we sold a shit ton, I'll tell you that much. And every time we sold one, I was like, this isn't really that great, but, little Timmy wants it, and,
My son wants Donkey Kong. Do you got it? Tom's like, no, we have Sega's Aladdin.
It's much crisper.
It's 32 megs, baby.
He's like, trust me, just check out Mario World 2. It's really good.
Right. Earthworm Jim. Play Earthworm Jim.
I like that.
I love Earthworm Jim.
I like that there were rumors,
Donkey Kong?
like Shigeru was set. Like the quote that I apparently made it into a magazine was, "Donkey Kong Country is proof that people will play things with bad gameplay if it looks nice."
He's not wrong.
But he has since then said, "No, I never said anything of the sort."
I believe he probably did.
But I believe he probably did.
But I didn't say that one about a bad game is delayed once and blah, blah, blah.
I said that one. Quote me there.
You can attribute that one to me.
This game was striking at the time. I don't know. I was excited about it.
Shiggy, baby.
Shiggy, baby. Come on.
Being a Genesis guy, I was jealous of it. I didn't play it for years after because I still don't own a SNES other than like a cheap knockoff version or an emulator on my Xbox. But it definitely didn't live up to the hype in my mind. But number 2 definitely made leaps and bounds.
Sure. Donkey Kong Country is a game that's hard to talk about for an entire podcast episode.
It is.
It really fucking is because I got to tell you, I beat it a couple days ago for the second time in probably 6 months.
How many hours per day do you beat it?
To me, the gameplay loop, what I wind up doing with Donkey Kong Country games is about exploration. It's about finding the bonus barrels.
Yeah.
And that's mostly what I'm doing in the level. Like, it's not necessarily difficult to get through a level, but the number of times I'll fall off a random cliff because I think there might be a bonus barrel there is higher than it should be. And I'll always go back to the beginning of every level and jump up as high as I can because there might be a fucking bonus barrel there.
Yeah,
never know.
And
bonus barrel.
one thing that I don't know, the original game had this and was poorly developed because the bonus levels never had like a fun like beat all the baddies, collect 20 bananas, can Dylan jerk off. There was none of these things there.
Shame.
I found one.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Pixelized Dylan.
It's me in
and-
the background.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like even poorly explained in the game that you need to find every bonus barrel to get 101% or whatever, because you get an exclamation point at the end of the level descriptions, which is fucking stupid. That just means you found all the bonus levels. You don't have to beat them. I don't know. This was Rare not developing a collectible in a way that I liked.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
man, goddamn, this game gets repetitive, and they ramp up the difficulty by shoving more enemies on screen, which is fine.
Or they speed it up to a point at which enemies appear on screen much too fast. And then you get the minecart
minecart
segments that
I love.
Once you have them memorized, you're fine. But memorizing a level does not a skill make.
I just use my reflexes. Like, I don't know, I'm pretty good.
But that's actually like no joke intended. That's actually kind of like Rare's thing because
Yeah.
if you
No,
look
it
at
is, yeah.
Battletoads,
Yeah.
I still have not beaten
speeder
Battletoads on
stage?
Game Boy
Oh, Game Boy.
because
Wow. Okay.
of
Who
that
has?
one.
Yeah.
The rolling brain ball that you're running from. I cannot beat that level for the life of me. That's rare. Like they do infuriating levels.
But they also made Banjo-Kazooie.
Well-
I don't know if that's
well,
true.
maybe like Nintendo gave them a little bit of like the make it playable poison, and they're just like make it really playable,
Yeah.
just make it like collectible as shit.
Well, Banjo-Kazooie
Because
is in my top 10 of all time.
I would like to
I
see,
don't know.
without Nintendo's interference, Donkey Kong Country like just as difficult as you can make it. Like
Unleashed.
Made
because-
by Rare.
they do ramp up the difficulty a lot in the second one when you get to like the extra levels where it's all locked behind stuff.
Yeah. Well, that was kind of a theme with just games back in the day to stave off the rental market. Was just make them fucking hard as fuck so you can beat them in
Make
in a
Dylan rent
weekend.
it 2 more times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or make all these collectibles, make it the
Yeah.
replayability so you want to rent it again.
I didn't
would
find
get-
3 bonus barrels in 10 levels, so I have to go back and die in every cliff and jump at every spot. And some of them are fine. Like most of the bonus barrels are very obvious, but some of them are just. Are you kidding? You hit a bonus barrel in a bonus level?
Yeah.
God damn it. It's a bit much.
Sidebar, take this out if you want, but I'm playing the new Ratchet and Clank, and I found a golden bolt today. Like you had to jump down a hole and die to get this golden bolt.
That's dumb.
It's dumb, and I hated it. But it's graphically so fucking good.
So you're saying it's the new Donkey Kong Country?
No,
No,
It
it's
is
actually
better
really good.
than
It's actually good. Nice. When this game came out, 1994, it won Game of the Year from Electronic Gaming Monthly.
It was the second year of Frasier on television.
It was later placed on their list of the 10 most overrated games of all time.
yes,
Mea culpa.
Yes. And on that note, we're going to take a quick break to hear from some of the other amazing shows from the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Which are on the list of best shows of all time.
With a purposeful grimace and a terrible smile, join Nikki and Wyatt as we stomp our way through the history of Toho's Dai Kaiju films in Discuss All Monsters.
Are you telling me we're going to discuss all monsters?
We won't stop until there isn't a monster left to discuss. Smash that play button like Godzilla and King Kong smash an 18th century Japanese pagoda.
Only on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, literary analysis, comparative localization, JoJo references. The works of Yoshihiro Togashi hold a specific kind of magic, and the people who seek to examine their roots and spiritual descendants are known as the Spirit Hunters, available on the Greenlit Podcast Network.
And we're back. Tom is still in the bathroom, everyone. This is Raw Dogs. We're going to talk about the Death Stranding trailer that was released earlier last week.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, whatever this release
3
date
days
was.
ago.
But new Death Stranding trailer, man, he's leaning into Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, he sure is.
I'm just fucking jacked for director's cut. I don't know what that means. If it's
This
like
game is
Snyder's
going to look so
cut,
much better. No, it's just going to look better.
Justice League, but
It looks like they're going to add more of a stealth element.
And
that's the only thing I picked up from the game, that, and he's leaning into what sold more earlier.
Yep.
and I read like more stealth infiltration, maybe like bad guy bases type deal, like underground bad guy bases. Or I guess mule bases.
Which I guarantee I'm bringing 300 kilograms of Timefall Porter on my back to every stealth mission.
You all want to get drunk instead?
Guys, there's 3 kegs of beer over here.
Why fight?
I carried them all on my back. It seems impossible, right?
This is not possible. What is going on here?
It's a Strand game.
Yeah. It's a special type.
I don't know.
so love
I
that
thought
game.
the trailer had me giggling and giddy, but also like, this isn't a director's cut to me. This is a continued thought.
Yeah.
And also, we need to sell more. What will make people want to try it?
People will buy it. Well, now people will buy it because
hands down.
Well, yeah, I'll buy it too. But here's the thing: like, it didn't sell enough on PS4. It sold okay on PC, from what I understand. Now they need to recoup their console losses, but by making this director's cut, there are even people who are going to buy the original that would buy this one.
Yeah.
So it's an okay choice.
I
They
hope
do
they-
this in Japan all the time.
I hope they do a black and white version like Justice League.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, because it really deserved it.
The Kurosawa cut of Death Stranding. It'd be well, I don't know.
I'm jacked for it. I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm jacked.
It's going to be the same thing, but it's going to have haptic controls.
And that'll be so sweet.
I
Can you
can't-
imagine feeling the boxes
I
shifting
can,
weight?
yeah, I fucking love that.
If anything, I saw that there was at least one like body disposal facility which was never used for any mission. And I was like, why is that there? And people made letters all over it, and like,
I'll bet you $1 million he's got an epilogue planned.
there's got to be something.
It'll be like 17 hours
Yeah.
of backstory
Yeah.
and prose.
They got Norman Reedus back.
Sam Poe,
And Tom's just walking
Sam Poe,
around.
Bridges.
Sorry.
He's got his shorts and his shirt.
Tom recently got a gaming table off of Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I've seen those. I'm jealous. I want to try that out.
So Tom,
we-
let's get you on this microphone here, Tom.
Hi.
Tom, what is this gaming table you purchased?
Are we doing Doggies After Dark already?
We'll talk a little bit more about Donkey Kong, but we can just keep it loose.
Yeah, I just got this in the mail on Friday. I kickstarted it was from Arcade One Up. They made an infinity gaming table. So it's a 32-inch, basically a table. You can fucking put shit on top of it, whatever. And it's 1 to 6 players, and it has, you download board games and shit and play.
I remember reading about that a few months ago, but I was too late for the donation process when they closed it up. It's like, damn it, that looks so cool.
Yeah, I haven't really played it much lately, or since I got it. But I'm looking forward to doing it. It seems pretty neat. Yeah.
It's pretty sexy.
Do they do DK Country on there?
I'm sure somebody will put an emulator.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, it's just a tablet that's also a table.
It's a big iPad.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
It's essentially what it is. Yeah, it's got like haptic feedback. I mean, it's multi-touch, so multiple people can touch it at the same time and move shit around.
Oh, that's good.
And it vibrates, and it's
Oh.
Wi-Fi enabled, so you can.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Multiple people can touch and it vibrates.
Yeah.
No more trips to the
I was just
laundromat.
thinking, like, I
Right.
wish they would put Donkey Kong Country on it, because then I could pee on it. Sorry. Or other things.
We're already veering into Doggies.
Yeah, they're Danny Thomas.
And that's what's going to happen. Okay.
Yep.
Let's talk about the silly notes that I have. Okay.
Let's see the notes.
Go to the
See the
notes.
documents.
Too silly.
There's 3 modes: single player, 2-player team, 2-player contest. These are all pointless outside of single player.
Yes.
2-player team, you alternate between characters. 2-player contest, you just wait till someone dies twice. The Game Boy Color port had Adventure, which is just like includes Candy's Challenge, a mini game, location to acquire banana coins. There's Funky Fishing and Crosshair Cranky. You can print unlockable stickers on your Game Boy printer.
What?
Yay.
Very cool.
Game Boy Advance added Candy's Dance Studio, which had a rhythm mini game.
That is advanced.
I made these notes, so unfortunately we're talking about them.
On the horrible Game Boy Advance sound chip.
Other notes. Donkey Kong is the grandson of original Donkey Kong. / Cranky in parentheses.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong is his nephew and best friend. Also, he is Dixie's boyfriend.
That's weak. Your nephew is your best friend. Get some friends,
Get
dude.
some friends, dude.
You're a loser.
Find an adult.
Candy Kong has blonde hair. Even the Kremlings think she is one of the most beautiful creatures ever.
Wow.
They don't even give a fuck that she's not a crocodile.
Now,
Yeah.
Tom, your
It's
signed
like some-
photo of Candy Kong, how'd you get that?
And the topless one.
Whoa. All right. One led to the other. Don't ask, please. I will.
Okay.
I will inform you.
What happens in Donkey Kong Country stays in Donkey Kong Country.
There's a reason the crocodile hunter is no longer alive.
You're the one who sent that stingray after him?
S.
I paid
Tingray
for
was
this.
his name.
Yes. Yeah.
was-
What are we talking about? I'm sorry.
I was able to find 3 notes on King K. Rool.
cranky.
3 notes. He is the ruler of the Kremlings, which are anthropomorphic crocodiles.
Makes
I put.
sense. Yeah.
That's right.
He is the older brother of K. Lumsey,
Okay.
and allegedly studied at Wrinkly Kong's school, as she asks about his homework when you see her later on.
That makes sense because some of his lines, it reminisces of that boarding school.
You can see that he was definitely at
Yeah.
an ape school.
He's like high end education all the way.
Dude, he's so high. Yes.
Heavy as the head.
I'm not going to read this story. I'm going to skip that. Items, bananas give you extra lives. This is an important note. Kong letters, stickers, photographs, blah, blah, blah. Did you know that there's 14 different kinds of barrels in this game? We're not going to talk about them. Fuck that.
Oh my God.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you know there are cheat codes in this game?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, good. Moving on.
Most rare games do.
It's rare that they don't.
Cheat codes. Let's go through all of them.
There's a lot of stuff. Okay, I guess the only thing that I think could even be mentioned, animal buddies are kind of fun.
They're great. I love Rampy the Rhino.
Rampy the Rhino
Yeah.
is probably the best. He's fun because he just like runs over guys.
I don't
Yep.
mind the.
This is the first
I don't
one.
know the name, like the fish guy, the swordfish guy.
On guard.
On guard.
It's a great name, by
Yep.
the way. Yeah, that's a
Not
perfect.
bad.
Very French.
Not bad. All right. It just went up a couple points. Mine.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
Yes.
And he's got this cool dash attack. That's how you attack your enemies. It's great.
Just like French people.
Yes.
Do you
They're
have a
wily
dash
that way.
attack?
Mon Dieu.
Canadian French people.
Canadian French.
There's the ostrich,
Yes.
who is extremely inconsistent because
Yeah.
sometimes you
true.
can run over the little like. Okay, speaking of sounds, the clap traps, the tiny little like. Like a tooth, like it is the worst sound in the world. It makes me like my skin crawl. But sometimes the ostrich can run over them, and sometimes he can't, and it makes me confused if that's
Really?
like an ability to where he can run over those enemies, because you think you can on some, but then other times he gets hit.
No bueno.
No bueno. And then the frog is cool that he jumps high, but it is the worst physics in game design of all time, maybe.
Well, yeah.
Frog special powers just don't make sense.
To wrap up Donkey Kong Country, Philly from the Discord said, I still love the first Donkey Kong Country.
Fuck you, Philly. You're out. Banhammer.
Tom is actually out.
Just kidding.
He said,
Philly.
Philly says, I hear a lot of negativity out there about the pre-rendered graphics just being a gimmick, but so what? It was a great looking game for the time, regardless of how that was conceived. The controls weren't as tight as a Mario game, but once you got used to them, it was really a fun platformer. And the soundtrack slaps.
Okay.
However, maybe my love for it is maybe more based on winning a year's worth of free game rentals at my local Blockbuster when they used to hold their annual game competition. And Donkey Kong Country was the NES game for 1995. So
Oh.
if I want a free year
Brag.
rental,
I want to know more about that story.
That brings
Yeah.
up an interesting point, though, is like all these older games, how much nostalgia is part of it versus actual,
yeah.
like a fully developed game, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
some of my like absolute favorite games, growing up, like I revisit because I found one the other day on an emulator. It's like, oh shit, is this what that game was? And it sucks.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. It was just this shitty random game on Genesis, but as a kid it was so fantastic, but now it's like, oh man.
This game more than most games it does. It has an age gap, an age divide where if you're of a certain age and you're on the older side of it, you don't regard this game as, the second coming or, have a lot of fun memories.
You regard it as the never came.
The never, exactly.
You want to
know?
know?
Never Dylan. But
I'm glad you said that. I was trying to think of something.
But if you're on the younger side, then there is a large, a high reverence for it. Yeah. And I can see why that is. So I don't discount people that really do like this game. I just try to be the voice of like, have you gone and played it?
Hands down agree with you. Like revisiting it the past week or so, it's a fun game, but I think we have a very similar opinion, Tom, that it's okay. But taking into account nostalgia, there's worse games. Taking into account nostalgia factor, it's a really good game. But
I like what my brother, aka Ants in the Pants, aka Judge Tempest, said. He said, "I think you should suck it, Tom. This game is like I forget the direct quote. He's like, I love this game. Tom is wrong." And I was like, yo, Brian, that's a pretty strong statement.
Hey, I love conviction. So,
but you had a really classic comment like, I like bad games too sometimes.
I mean, I'll say it before, I'll say it again. Nostalgia is a poison.
It really is.
And it's not good to not reevaluate things. It's not good to just be so set in your conviction on something that you've played and thought critically of, because that's what art is supposed to be. You're supposed to take it and you're supposed to evaluate it over time. That's the grand, it's the grand rainbow of like the entire idea of it. I don't know. This game's fine. It's fine. I think 2 is absolutely fabulous. I actually quit halfway through the second time of playing this for this podcast, and I went straight to 2, had a way better time, beat 2. I was like, oh shit, like a better video game.
I had a better time. So today I played 2 and then 3, maybe about halfway through each game. I had a much better time, but even still, I'm like, it's the same engine. It's still the same game. It looks a little better, and they took what works and they cranked it up. It's just
crankied it up.
They crankied it up. It's still not perfect though. And Donkey Kong Country 2 though is the best iteration. 3 they get
until Returns.
3 was like made by some different people, and they took things to a different level and a weirder extent. But I still liked it. But it was like, do I need a hoverboat? Do I need this?
Right.
Does the creator of Simon know you took his game? Like, I wasn't sure what's going on there.
Just to go back to your point, Dylan, where like
who made Simon?
Art should
Rough Bear
go through the generations, and if it's good or not. Like I always go back to music. You can. I really like this song. I really like this band, and then 15 years later, it's like, man, this is bullshit. Versus. This still stands up, and I feel that Donkey Kong is a really good example of that, where you can find the good in it, but does it stand up? No.
I think it stands fine, and I have to give it enough credit to a point where I can at least respect it and where it came from. Like I don't I don't like early punk music at all because I think it just sounds like gutter trash.
Yeah.
But I think at the time, see, exactly.
It's supposed to be gutter trash.
Yeah, that's also not a good excuse. I'm sorry.
Cranky Kong is the grandpa.
I also don't like a lot of modern art. This is problematic.
That is trash. That is trash.
No, but at the same time, there's some of it that does, and some of it that doesn't. It's about the proliferation. It's about how much exists, and how much you have to take in,
and how does it stand up against time? Because I think we're on the same wavelength right now.
Yeah.
It's there's nothing. I think it was quote unquote revolutionary for its time.
No,
based
it was.
on what they did.
It was.
They made their mistakes, just like a lot of games make. They rebounded for the second version. Does it stand the test of time?
And then after that, they fucked up a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. The fact that Rare had David Wise like around, and there wasn't another banger soundtrack until Tropical Freeze is like the next soundtrack that he came back and had his name attached to it. Which, how do you fuck up that much? Like, you have who I consider one of my favorite video game soundtrack composers.
We'll have to do that Mount Rushmore.
That would be very fun because he did DKC 1 and 2. He worked a little bit on some other Rare games. I know he did some Viva Pinata, but it wasn't until Tropical
Underrated
Freeze.
game.
Tropical Freeze, he came back, and when he had a full HD orchestra sound, that game slaps hard on every single level.
Absolutely.
And they take what works in the original trilogy is like levels and like the backgrounds that they kind of like move parallax. What is that? What is that the term? Like
Parallax scrolling.
Parallax scrolling. The levels do look great. They don't have enough variety between the levels.
No.
And with Tropical Freeze, they tell stories through the background and returns as well. But they like
Mostly
there'll be
Freeze.
an organic like story for a lot of levels where it's like starts here and then things happen in the background.
Right.
And you move between them. But David Wise is, in my opinion, the best part of the original Donkey Kong Country game and what is the strongest legacy of that franchise because that soundtrack is so iconic and so important to many people.
I would not ever take anything away from the soundtrack
No.
at all.
It's wonderful.
There's just not enough lyrics in the credits, though.
I know, like
I will say
There's some
as-
monkeys.
Donkey Kong.
I think in their heart, I know what they wanted to make, and I think they ended up making the game that Donkey Kong Country is. It's literally Banjo-Kazooie in 2D.
And it's still good. I mean, it's not great, but it's a game that
It is. That's exactly what it is.
it wouldn't be known as one of the tent poles of the Super Nintendo if it wasn't still a good game. And it still showcases the power of the system, even if it's not perfect. It works for children, so that works for the majority of the people.
Yeah,
They were fine.
It showcases ingenuity on how to
Dumbed down, cool graphics.
extend the longevity of your console, basically.
which is rare.
Innovative
nowadays.
solutions for
It worked.
like almost cultural problems. Like, yeah.
And this kind of was it this game where Nintendo started the Play It Loud campaign, where they tried to get rid of their like wholesome. They tried to compete with Sega a little bit. Sega started coming out with the Nintendo is for babies, Sega, and then Nintendo tried to counter with Play It Loud.
Do you like Crazy
And I think
Taxi?
this was like one of the first games to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it worked.
I don't know if they did it as well as Sega though. I think
no.
No,
I think that whole
Sega's
episode-
advertising was way better
Oh, yeah.
until they started to like 32X.
Yeah. Oh, 30 was bullshit.
Yeah.
I think there should be an episode on Genesis versus SNES. That was like
Read console
A
wars.
console wars series, but also I want to do like bad Sega advertising series.
yeah.
As an episode 2 would be fun.
and horrible Genesis games. There's a shit ton of them out there.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. All right.
To bring it home,
like
Donkey Kong
Aladdin.
Country. I still think it's a fine game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play it again for a long time. I would be curious to play it too, but I'm also reticent and expecting to not like it as much as like today was not great. And if I play it more, I think it'll be less great the more I play it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'd be excited to ask Josh about this because I know Josh loves that game.
Which one?
2.
Sorry.
Yeah. I think 2 is probably his favorite game on the SNES.
Fucking shit.
It's rare that I would pick DK as like a top game.
I'm going to beat the shit out of you after this. I'm going to smash you into Tom's new table.
You may. It's still under like
You're like, wham, wham.
Boys, you just got boned.
Every time you're on. Every time you do.
Oh my God. So yeah, Donkey Kong Country. I played it a few times over the span from when it came out till now. Like I said, I had another love partner this was her favorite game, and
No longer your love partner.
no longer. But I did buy her Returns for Wii, and we had fun for about a level and a half, maybe 2 levels, and
Then
got
you broke
too
up.
difficult.
Returns is good, but Tropical Breeze is where it's at.
Do you live your love life by video games?
I do mark my, not necessarily my love
My
life,
territory.
but my territory. But I do mark my stages of existence
That
by
makes
video
sense.
game releases.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's
Right.
okay though.
Dylan, I'm going to name a few characters, and I want you to give me like a 2-sentence response on what you think about their character design, good or bad.
Okay.
Quick response. Donkey Kong.
Excellent. I love his fucking red tie. I think it's funny. He's a big, strong man.
Diddy Kong.
Actually, the best design in the entire game. I love his Nintendo hat. It's fucking weird. He's zany.
Cranky Kong.
Cranky Kong is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What's cooler than an old cranky fucking simian?
Funky Kong.
Funky Kong is, he's a cool surfer dude with Toad, and I kind of dig it.
Candy Kong.
Hot to Trot, I called her Sexy Kong earlier. Probably wouldn't fuck it. It's fine.
King K. Rool.
Awesome. I think King K. Rool is fucking slick to shit.
So
A fat crocodile is fucking fun.
You're mostly into all the designs.
I
then.
actually
Yeah.
think King K. Rool is a bit of a derivative off of Blanc. Sorry.
Yeah, but no one's ever played that.
Yeah.
That is accurate.
I like
Great game.
big crocodiles. I like crocodiles a lot.
I think Cranky Kong is probably my favorite part of the original game. You go up to his fucking little shed. You just go in there and he talks shit to you
Yep.
about how stupid you are.
He's like a grandpa.
He's like, well, when I was younger, we could beat a game in 20 minutes, and like it was easy. Or no, he was like, it's tough. I walked uphill both ways, and
Yeah.
yeah, he talks shit every time you go in, and
I
it's
threw
like, you
construction equipment at little Jumpy Man.
Yes. That was a nice little Easter egg when it came out that he was the original Donkey Kong, because it
Yeah.
made sense,
Yeah.
Just that first opening scene where he's on the girder with the phonograph. And you're like,
Yep.
oh, yeah.
playing the
that's
phonograph
original.
was a nice callback, and then
Yeah.
Donkey Kong shows up with like a boombox,
Right, yeah.
So 90s.
and then Cranky Kong throws a barrel up at him. I'm like, that's what would happen, you know?
I remember coming home when I was a kid in the 90s with a boombox, and my dad threw a barrel at me, and it's like, oh shit.
To a barrel roll, bitch.
Let's roll it along.
Welcome to Doggies After Dark.
I think we've talked everything that needs to be talked about. I mean,
Yeah.
we can talk about how they added cutscenes to the Game Boy Advance game, but that's stupid, you know?
That's awful. Why? Who cares?
I didn't actually read the manual for the Super Nintendo. That would have been fun, but
They're best in Hungarian.
Did any of you have a Game Boy Advance or whatever you said
Of
there?
course, I've had a game.
I had Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy,
Yep.
and then I also had Donkey Kong Country Advance, whatever it was called. I had both of them.
Really?
And I beat both of them. And they were fun back then. I booted them up on an emulator on my computer, and I don't know like how I beat them back in the day or loved them, but it was just nostalgia. It was nostalgia. This game is nostalgia juice. It's give me a glass of Donkey Kong Country and make me feel young again.
You can just milk it out.
Yeah. It's like a little candy Kong juice, you know?
Oh God.
Sweet.
I probably would have boned her.
Welcome to the Bone Zone.
Oh, my God.
That was a Dilly Kong quote.
Okay. Yep.
After dark.
All right. Well,
He's got big muscles.
I love Donkey Kong. One of
And
the,
he's got a
Yeah,
big set
he's
of
got hair.
chutzpah.
you want to, yeah. I
He's
mean,
got
the first game,
chutzpah.
probably
Guys.
one of the first games I ever played.
we're going into summer. We're taking a break from the Dogcast. We're going to Indie
Yeah.
Games Month
No, we're not. We're going to summer camp.
And Summer Camp.
and Summer Camp. Well, Indie Games Month is like summer camp for the Raw Dogs
Oh yeah, that's true.
because it's both recorded beforehand.
What?
What, it
Way to
is?
spoil the
This has been a
illusion.
this is
I
a-
think I'm gonna puke.
This is a reveal.
I
so
went
yes,
boom boom in my diaper.
there will be a small break for Raw Dogs and Hair of the Dogcast that we record at a time because Tom is in a band, Dylan is single, and the rest of us just have regular lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Sometimes it's good to do things too that aren't talking into microphones about video games.
I'm leaving.
This sucks. Yeah, I'm out.
Sometimes you just got to sing into a microphone.
Exactly. I mean, I love microphones.
I wish you just go up with like a full band behind you and start like talking about Donkey Kong Country on stage.
Tom and I are going to form a glee club.
Polka band.
What song is it? I
could.
There is one song where I usually talk about video games in the middle of it. I switch the words around.
Like Final Countdown?
It's the Final Fantasy.
No, what is it?
Final Fantasy.
It's chaos.
Maybe we can go back to
It's chaos.
Yeah.
Chaos.
Chaos.
Get out of here.
We do what Nintendo. Chaos.
Get out.
Get out of here.
Stop.
No, it's Rolling Stones. Miss You, if you know that song. Yeah. There's a verse in the song where Mick Jagger says, I'm going to come by with some Puerto Rican girls, buy champagne, Puerto Rican girls, we get crazy. But I usually change it to like, I'm going to come by with the Atari 2600, we're going to play Frogs and Flies, and we're going to go crazy.
Oh, my God.
And one person was like, wait a second.
Did you just say Frogs and Flies?
Did you say Atari?
Yeah.
I played an Atari.
Or I'll just change it to like, let's look Bubsy 3D and, like, yeah. So
I like that. I'm coming to every show from now on to hear your variations.
I put Easter eggs because I don't remember any of the words to any of these songs. And sometimes I chuckle at the shit that comes out of my mouth where I just can't remember. I'm like just making stuff up. Like, okay. Yeah.
This summer, I have a few more indie games to play through before Indie Games Month, but then I might play...
Do you play Undertale yet?
Not yet. I started Kentucky Route Zero today, and I'm playing Undertale after that. And then
you'll be able to play all of Undertale by the time it's ready.
And then I will play the rest of Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC, which I am loving. And then I'll play Resident Evil 8 Village. And then Final Fantasy 8. Because Final Fantasy 8 is an upcoming Raw Dogs topic in like August or...
Oh, have
you guys
fun.
in the Final Fantasy already. What is going on with this?
That's his favorite game.
Can you guys just...
It's my favorite Final Fantasy.
What's your favorite game?
Indie games,
No.
big budget
It is your
indie
favorite
game,
game.
Concrete
Yeah.
Genie. You should
Concrete
play it.
Genie?
It's really good.
Okay. I've heard of it.
It's very
Is
good.
it VR?
There's a VR mode,
Yeah,
but it was free on PS Plus.
Is it painting?
It's graffitiing.
Okay.
I think the VR mode is like an afterthought, but the main game itself is actually super cool.
I might have played the VR mode a little bit.
New Year's resolution.
What else you got going on this summer, Jamie?
You didn't challenge me.
I'm trying to get my band playing live.
Talk to this
right.
guy. He'll get you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'll open up for
Tom could open
big
for
What's
you.
the name of your
Tom
band
could
again?
open for you.
The name of my band is High Tide.
High Tide.
High Tide.
It's because of the
Green
marijuana.
grass. Yeah.
Low tide's better. It's stinky, full of fish.
That was my call, but High Tide made
Stinky
it.
and full of fish. That's the name of Dylan's band.
There will soon be a YouTube channel dedicated to our demos, which is very cool. We may play Chill on the Hill for Milwaukee listeners. We'll see if they do it.
They might do it.
They might
Are
do
you
it.
Are you in
an
talks with
accordion.
someone?
I submitted an application, but I also know someone that knows the guy on the board. So it'd be like...
That's the way to do it.
Yo, dog.
Tony Hawk?
That's the way to get in.
Yo, Tony, just get us on...
Bored.
Get us on the bill, man.
He's like, cool, dude.
Yeah.
That's nice. How many songs do you guys have?
We have about 6. We only do originals. 6. We're pushing for like 10. Like
Not even one cover?
no,
Not that one, like, okay.
we might do one cover.
All right.
One
Layla.
cover.
If you had to do a cover, what would it be?
The band really wants to do "Cannonball" by. Fuck.
Miley Cyrus.
No.
Wrecking Ball. Sorry.
Kim Deal from Pixies.
Kim Jong-il from the Pixies?
Okay.
I thought he was dead.
I'd listen to that.
I can't remember the name of the
Guy had
band.
a perfect score in golf.
But
Yeah.
we'll see.
Dylan, where can they find
does
us
Hitler.
if they need to find
Keep
us?
asking me these questions I don't know the answers to. The arcane knowledge I cannot possess.
We're on a mountain covered in shroud of the mystery.
It used to be that I could just say, you can't find me anywhere.
Yes.
No one simply walks.
I think
to
Way of the Warrior came out in 94 or 93.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why.
It
I
might be
never
around the
liked-
time.
That's when gaming peaks.
Donkey Kong Country.
That's
You
what
can find us
Donkey Kong
on.
Country's
You can find us on
on
Patreon, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us pretty much fucking everywhere.
Tinder.
Fucking
Patreon's the most
everywhere.
important. Give us money. Just do it. It's fine. You got a little bit left, huh? You don't need that extra pack of ramen.
But we are your favorite mail workers and bartenders. Give us a couple bucks if you can, because we love you and this is our passion, and we want to do ourselves and support ourselves.
Want to do it?
You know
sure
what I
do.
mean. You know what I mean. For even like $3 or $5, you can get a ton of exclusive content, episodes only for Patreon members, as well as an entire show, Doggies After Dark, which we'll have here shortly. And yes, Facebook, Instagram, Hair the Dogcast, Twitter,
Do it.
Hot Dogcast. Do it. Check us out.
Do it.
And
Featuring my cool dude illustrations sometimes.
yeah,
Which are very cool, man.
Thank you.
They're very good.
You're only happy
Yeah.
because I drew you.
You drew me. You drew me like one of your French girls.
it's like when you drew Dom, but you drew
Yeah.
yourself, Dylan.
Yeah, you know what? I noticed that about that picture.
Yeah, literally, I didn't have a reference photo of Dom. I can't just draw someone off the top of my head.
So you just do
I was
yourself.
diagnosed with facial blindness when I went into
I was going to ask if you had face
a therapist.
blindness.
I do actually. Yeah, I don't see people very well.
I just ask people that in general.
Yeah, Indie Games Month is next month, and we will be taking a break during a lot of that. So, yeah, but thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Now he has no choice.
Bananas. That's my favorite part of the holiday.
That's your favorite part of any day, DK.
Hi, DK.
Hi, Creamy. Candy.
I thought you'd be on the beach setting up the fireworks display.
You know how much I love your banana cream pies.